Mom. Dad. Juliet. Neve. Hello and welcome back. That never gets old. That
It's so freaking cute. She also still refers to herself as Et. That's just like her name now.
Yeah, that's like, it's official that if you were to talk to her and say, "How's it going, Juliet?" she'd be like, "It's Et."
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's fun to we are going to, as time goes on, be updating that, and I'm going to keep all the intros though, so that as we go on in time, you just can listen back and we'll have this like ongoing.
That'd be fun. We should have like a whole episode that's just that and updated versions of it.
Yeah, so welcome back everybody. It's another episode of your most favorite podcast of all time.
Your most favorite pancake of all time.
Super asbestos of all time.
The Friday kind.
Okay, if you were a pancake, what would you be? And I'll do the same, but then we also have to pick the other person's what we think they'd be.
Oh, should we pick the other person's first?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay.
Okay, I know what you would be. Oh, 1 second here. I gotta mute that. There we go. Okay, cool. Okay.
You'd be a cinnamon roll pancake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, easy.
Would I have that,
The like cream cheese, yeah. Oh fuck yeah.
Well, thank you.
That's a good pancake. It's like the best pancake.
That's a really good pancake, but this one's a pretty good one, I think, too.
Okay.
Banana chocolate chip.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I think you're a banana chocolate chip.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
This is like, I'm not a very sweet tooth person, so like I know that's probably a good pancake. Yeah. And it's not dissimilar to what I would describe myself as.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not saying it's like the pancake you would like to eat the most. It's like the pancake you are. Right?
Yeah, but that's like, I don't know whether to take it as a compliment.
No, it is.
Not.
I think most people. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, wait. What kind of pancake would be like a diss to someone?
Shit pancake, poopy pancake.
Plain with Bacel margarine from those shitty little cups.
Fuck,
and then Aunt Jemima's, but it's all old and crusty, and you're like, how long has this been here? It's definitely,
how long has this been sat on the table right now?
Yeah, because Aunt Jemima's has expiry dates. It doesn't go bad, but it's definitely past its expiry date.
Yeah.
So I'd say that pancakes. That's like
dude. Anything
like, fuck
with
you, you're that pancake.
Like a maple taste would just be gross to me.
Oh no, you know what? You're the pancakes from Denny's. That's like a fuck you to someone.
Oh yeah, like, that is a fuck you to someone.
Yeah, that's a big fuck you. If you're out there and you like Denny's pancakes, it's not that you'll eat them, like you like them, you think they're good. Please come on our show.
Please kill yourself.
You are fucked up. And it's what we just lost like half our viewership.
Well, they all killed themselves.
Yeah, okay, so I would say if I was a pancake myself, I'd pick myself to be a blueberry pancake.
Yeah, I could see you being a blueberry pancake.
Oh, hello, it's me, Blueberry.
Put
some syrup on me.
So if I were a pancake, I would have the best pancakes ever that I've ever had. I'm not saying that I'm the best like person ever, but these were just the best pancakes I've ever had, and I don't really like pancakes.
Okay.
So this is a pancake I could see myself being.
What pancake?
Okay, so it's from this one place in Old Town Scottsdale, Arizona, that was like a diner, and they made me chocolate chip pancakes. But I've tried many chocolate chip pancakes since then, and nothing can ever live up to these chocolate chip pancakes.
So you'd call yourself a chocolate chip pancake?
Yeah. Which isn't far from what you said, so.
Okay, I don't understand how you would identify yourself as a chocolate chip pancake.
Chocolate chip.
But then would I say you're a banana chocolate chip? You're like, I don't know if that's an insult or not.
No, it's just like it's a bit much in it, you know?
I don't think
Bananas
so.
and chocolate chips is kind of excessive.
Okay, I will say I'm not a big fan of chocolate chip pancake at all. If I were to name
So you're not a fan of me?
No, 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 no. Because
LaCroix.
I was trying to give, like, I'm trying to project, like, a nice pancake that is wonderful to be you. So if it was just me, I would have picked a banana pancake because I like banana more than banana chocolate chip. But if I'm if I'm talking to the viewers out there and I'm like, I want them to know what I think of her, I'm like, oh, she's a banana
add some chocolate chips in there.
pancake. You know what I mean? Yeah, you get me. Yeah.
Banana pancakes are actually really good.
They are very good.
Yeah.
My favorite is blueberry, though, I have to say. I just think what I like about the blueberry is I find pancakes to be extremely dry, extraordinarily dry. Even with tons of it's either it's so hard to have a pancake where there's good pancake and you don't have to douse it in maple syrup, because if you have to douse it in maple syrup, you inevitably are just eating maple syrup at some point.
100%.
And so what I find with blueberry pancakes is
the blueberry leaks.
The blueberry, makes there's these like nice little soft spots that like keep it from being super dry.
So true. I feel the same about a blueberry muffin. I'm a real big fan of a blueberry muffin.
Yeah, me too. For me, when I think of my favorite fruit, if I'm like trying to be cool, like say you're in front of a bunch of people and you had some glasses on, you throw out strawberry. You're like,
really?
Oh, I love strawberries. Yeah, because like it's like a big old strawberry. Everyone can just because
that's what you want to sound cool. You want to say cool by saying strawberry.
Yeah, like
I feel like that's super basic though. That's like everyone's favorite fruit.
Well, what do you what? Yeah, but no, like in the best way. Like that's what I mean. Like everyone's standing. You're trying to like be cool in the crowd, and you're like, yeah, I love strawberries. What about you? And like that's, I don't know. Most people will be like, yeah, strawberries. Like that's cool. Whereas blueberries, raspberries, I think that's my jive.
Yeah, you've always really liked blueberries, especially.
But I do love strawberries. I just feel like strawberries have become very bland flavored.
Tell you what's so underrated? Cherries. Cherries are like honestly like crack to me. Like I don't eat a lot of fruit. It's kind of too sweet for me. I'd rather have veggies over fruit. But I will like mow down on a whole bunch of cherries, especially when we get them from like the roadside in Penticton. Fuck me, those are good cherries.
Yeah, they're really good cherries. Oh, Penticton this year. Well, wherever we go in the Okanagan, we have to get the fruit there. That was the one thing that I realized last year. I know, like, I knew it had good fruit, but just last year I was like, why haven't I been eating this more?
We got like 2 pounds of cherries on the roadside, I swear.
Yeah,
that just went to town.
Yeah. Growing up, when we'd go to the cabin, we'd always get cherries, and that was one of the funnest things. Is you sit on the dock and eat cherries, and you can just spit all of the seeds in the lake.
Love cherries.
Yeah, me too.
All about the cherries.
Okay, so first off, how was your week?
My week was good. The long weekend was nice.
Yeah, it
needed.
Was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was sweet you and Jay got, because I worked on the Monday.
Yeah.
So it was nice you guys just got a chill day together.
Yeah, we did, but like I think it was most fun when we were all hanging out.
Yeah, we went to the farm.
That was so much fun.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say, ironically, from the guy that didn't want having kids to having my little sweet baby girl, have kids just so you can take them to the farm. The farm is so adorable with little kids.
Dude, the farm is also super fun. Like, I just like seeing the animals. So it's nice that we have like an excuse to like go to the like petting zoo and farm and stuff.
Yeah, you know it is true. I'm not just sitting there being like, oh, Jay, look at the cow. I'm like, hey, little, like,
hey, little cow. Yeah, you did. And the goats too.
Oh yeah, that one goat. Oh my gosh.
The goats were so freaking cute.
And it's okay. So we got there. What time did we get there? It was like 8:30.
It was early. It was like literally as soon as it opened, we were there.
Yeah,
basically.
Just for all our listeners without kids, which I'm assuming is most of them. you do 8:30 is not early anymore
No.
at all. So we get there, and it was nice though because there was a lot of people there, but like it was all just basically us, but it wasn't a lot. It was like 20 people maybe.
Yeah, it was
Maybe.
a small amount of people, and you could tell it was all the toddlers, because those were the people that were just up anyway. So it was literally, instead of like an animal farm, it was like a toddler farm.
And it was so there was these two little twins. They
were so cute.
Blonde hair, blue eyes. Dad was English,
Irish.
Oh, yeah, he was Irish, and then Mom I think was from here,
She was
right?
from Burnaby, yeah.
And anyhow, I didn't really. You talked to them more. I talked to them more for a little bit. She was nice, but it was their little kids. They were a year
so
older.
freaking no, they were the same age.
Oh, literally the same.
They're yeah. Just like a month older than
their
her.
blonde hair, like white almost,
but like white blonde,
and
yeah.
then bright blue eyes, and it was twins. And it was so funny because they would like. They were such boys. It was so crazy. So Juliet is such a girl. She's like with her little bluey backpack on that's almost as big as her, walking around looking at everything, horse, cow, ducks, just pointing and being so gentle.
Yeah.
And then these two little boys, all they did was throw pine cones and kick pine cones and run and jump and fall over. And like the mom was telling me that they came and they saw the cow, and like every little kid there, they get scared by how big the cow is.
Yeah.
And then they pet the cow for a few minutes, and then the cow had like a giant ball that was bigger than it, but I think it was like a feeding thing. It wasn't. It wasn't for show. It was to do something. But it's this giant ball, and she's like, within like a minute of seeing the cow, they'd been over the cow and were just like ball. I was like, yeah, sounds like a boy.
Classic. They were super cute though. They were so cute.
Holy, that must have been a handful though.
Oh yeah, twin boys, like jeez.
Jesus, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
But in one sense, if you want to have two kids, I think twins would be the way to do it.
Oh yeah.
Just one and done, and then everything's the exact same. Even when you buy clothes, you're like, what do we do? Just buy two the exact same thing.
Yeah. Nice. Nice.
Yeah, and that was really cute. And just Jay, it's so much more fun with her now because she'll be like, oh, the ducks, and point at them and do stuff. Whereas before, when we went to like even the zoo in Hawaii 6 months ago, it was just more like she'd see things and thought it was cool, but she didn't really like
get it. Yeah. 100%. Yeah, I would really like to take her to a zoo now, but I've heard the one here is pretty shitty.
Oh yeah, it's out in like Langley or Abbotsford.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I've never been or heard really much about it.
Yeah, apparently Calgary Zoo is really good.
Yes, I've heard that.
Yeah,
too.
we should go take her there.
Yeah, and then so I went from we went from that, and then I went out to the Good Friday pub crawl, which was fun. It was good to see all of my friends from high school. I mean, most of them I see
pretty regularly.
Enough. It was just a few I don't, but it was still cool to see everyone. And that setting was. Good time. Shout out to Carrie. He's a listener. We love you, Carrie.
Let's go, Carrie.
Let's go. Let's go,
Carrie.
Yeah, we went to a barbecue place to start. You know what? Barbecue is a tough thing. I feel like it's hard to judge barbecue because depending on when you show up, it changes a lot. Like,
it shouldn't.
Well, it has to though. So unless you're someplace that's like every single day are selling out of all your meat, you're not going to throw away like half a brisket because it's a day old, right?
No, yeah.
So like, I don't know. I felt like I had this Yorkshire with brisket in it, and it was a full brisket, or Yorkshire like with everything was a mini one.
Yeah.
And then that was really good, and it wasn't dry. But then I had their brisket as well, just the brisket. And it clearly wasn't fresh, and we were like there early. Yeah. But I have a sense that I might have just got some, like the end of a brisket as opposed to fresh brisket. Because I was a little disappointed, to be honest with you, which is sad.
Yeah, I mean, we should just go to South US and get barbecue there, and it'll just blow our minds.
Hell yeah.
I just don't think like Vancouver especially is known for its barbecue.
I mean, Calgary's got really good barbecue, and the craziest part of that is Zach's the best barbecuer in Calgary, and he's not even a restaurant. Give me your barbecue, Zach. Zach, I just want some of that barbecue in my mouth. No, no, no homo.
A little bit of homo.
Okay, let me just see here. I got some topics I gotta bring up. Okay, so we've established you shouldn't vape on the plane or bring bananas.
Thanks, Luke.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I was thinking of this 2 days ago, and it was, you know how anti-aging cream is a thing?
Yep.
Do you believe in it? Like, do you think it works?
No.
I think anti-aging cream doesn't, like, when they say that, they don't literally mean it anti-ages you, just like restorative more for your like skin.
Well, that's false advertising.
But like, is that fair to say? Like, they're not literally, I don't think, at least, like saying you'll like reverse time. It's just like your skin or whatever. Like,
yeah, I mean, I don't think you can reverse time with a cream.
Whoa. Yeah, if you think things like that, you can. But so I'd argue it works though, right? Like that. Like,
I think I don't think it's that it's anti-aging. I think it's just like a treatment for your skin to help it look younger.
Yeah. Okay. So but it does work to a degree. Okay. Is that fair
yeah,
to say?
Sure.
Okay. So stick with me here.
Mm-hmm.
What if you? So I just call it, let's say anti-aging cream is literally just moisturizing your skin. But really good.
Yeah.
What if you use that on your bum?
On your bum?
Yeah. Like
then you'd have a very soft bum hole.
No, not your bum hole. Like your bum cheeks.
Then you'd have a very soft bum cheeks.
Like, yeah. So like, that's what I'm saying is like, you know, there's like $600 face creams.
Yeah.
If you use that on your bum cheeks, do you have like the like nicest old young bum?
You know, there's like butt cream's a thing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's like a really famous brand. I think it's called something Rio. It's like Rio de Janeiro. It's like Brazilian butt cream, and you put it on your butt, and it makes your butt all nice and smooth.
Huh.
I actually have some butt cream.
What? Okay. Well,
in the drawer if you want to use it.
No, I wasn't getting into me needing butt cream yet.
Yeah, I was like, do you want some butt cream, Derek? Because I have some if you'd like it.
No, it was because I was listening to this ad for anti-aging cream.
Yeah.
And it made me think, I was like...
It made you think of butts?
But it was expensive, and I was like, what if you were so rich that everyone else is like, oh yeah, look at my skin on my face. It's so anti-aged with all these creams, and then you're like, check out my butt, and everyone's like, what the? And it's like, your butt's like so young. It's not
just your butt?
Just your butt. Everyone's like, oh my God.
The rest of you is like wrinkly as fuck.
Yeah, your butt's just like, they're like, is that a butt of a 20-year-old? It's not even nice. It's just like, it's not 90.
I mean, like, that's a pretty normal thing to do, is for people to like lotion themselves up, you know? Like so, body lotion and butt lotion and arm lotion.
Put lotion over their entire bodies normally, like regularly.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know a lot of women that do it. No. No, personally, no.
What does it do for you? Is it some weird
It makes
kink?
it makes your skin super soft, and like there's different treatments you can do. I mean, this is like a pretty feminine thing to do, but just like make yourself look nice. Dudes don't have to worry about this shit. You just fucking wash your face with the same soap that you wash your butthole with, and you like look fine. Women put a lot of effort into women put a lot of effort into that.
Use soap.
You're like, I get wet.
Well, that's a lie. I do use soap. That's it.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I mean.
But it's
like
Dove soap, so to take back everything you
Dove
said.
isn't soap, it's Dove.
So,
but yeah, people put a lot of like some women will like do the whole like exfoliating thing, post shower moisturize, like all these treatments and stuff. Like it's self-care. Like like sometimes it feels nice, sometimes you do it for other people. It's just what people do.
Yeah, okay, well, that's fair. 1 second while we take a break from our unofficial sponsor.
Butt cream.
Is this what it sounds like whenever you scratch your butt? Is it that rough? Is it that old? Ew. Get out of here, oldie. We don't want to see your saggy old butt. Buy anti-aging butt cream to make that old saggy butt look brand new. Whoa, that old person has the butt of a 21-year-old. I wish I had that butt, said every old person. Back to the show.
It's probably really good that you never had an acting career.
I don't know what you're talking about. That was just one of the ads. Okay, they never said everyone was a home run, Neve. I think that was Wayne Gretzky said that or something.
You think Wayne Gretzky said that?
I think that was Wayne Gretzky said not everyone's a home run.
You're like a half run.
Okay. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Why does it hurt so much when you bite your lip? And how come you don't bite your lip or cheek more? Not you, literally, just like in general.
I don't know. I just think you're like conscious of your body.
Yeah, well, that's the answer. But it's like when you think of it, it's crazy how infrequently you bite your lip. I don't know. I think it is.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it is because like I get it. You're like your body works the way it is, but you do bite your mouth and your tongue and stuff. So it's not like it's impossible. And so it just seems to me it's kind of crazy how infrequently it happens, because then when it does happen, it's like think it was the last time you bit your lip or your tongue.
Yeah, it's super painful.
And
I bit my tongue the other day. It was the worst.
Yeah, and that is the thing too, is it's so painful.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things, you and me talking right now, if I bit my lip or my tongue, I would literally be like, oh, right? You can't
yeah, I bit my tongue right on like the tip, and I can like still feel it a bit, and it was like 2 days ago.
Damn, yeah.
But it's no like, whenever you use your tongue for anything, it just like is a little bit painful in that area.
Would you rather have a bite on your tongue, your lip, or your cheek? Bad one, not like severe, but like it's a bad one. I don't know.
Probably cheek, I think.
I think I'm just not going to answer that question.
I think cheek, because then you're irritating it less when you just regularly talk and stuff.
I don't know. That's too hard. It's definitely not tongue. It's definitely
you
not
could
tongue.
bite your tongue off pretty easily. You know that, right?
Really?
Nah, it's not like it wouldn't be hard to bite.
I did it. A bit off.
Like, yeah, you could for sure. Like, it's not like you could bite your finger off if you wanted to. Did you know that? So biting through your finger.
Sorry.
Is like the same consistency as biting through a raw carrot. Like, you could do it if you wanted to, but your brain stops you.
Oh, okay. Like you literally have the jaw strength to do
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. So you could bite your tongue off pretty easy if you like didn't think about it.
Yeah, one of my biggest fears, when I used to play basketball, Michael Jordan used to do the tongue out like this, like to the side when you'd go like in and do crazy things. So as kids, we would all do that because Derek Lee did it, and he was like Michael Jordan to us. You don't know Derek Lee.
Nope.
Anyhow, as I got older, I had this fear of I stopped doing it because like if your tongue's out and someone like smashes your jaw and you bite your tongue off, that'd just be horrific. Okay, so I had a weird occurrence happen. So my normal order at McDonald's, every morning that I work, it's $1.58 or $1.78 depending. So Monday and Wednesday, I get a large.
Okay.
1 cream, 1 sugar.
Yeah.
And then Thursdays, I used to get an XL, but I've toned it back for the last like 3 or 4 months to just larges.
Yeah.
Okay. But then on the days that I do the fast now, so the Mondays, I can't do cream or sugar.
Yeah.
And so I don't want as much coffee. So I get a medium black.
Okay.
Okay. And it's crazy how much the people that work at McDonald's noticed when my coffee order changed. Like, it was actually, I was literally like, I didn't realize it, so I'd walk in and I'd always say the same order.
Yeah.
And then I walked in this one time and it was like 2:00, and they were like, "Oh, on that." I was like, "No, I was like actually stopping to get food from there."
Yeah.
So it's like, "Oh no," but they knew my order. And then, yeah, like literally I was like, "Oh no, I'm just having a medium black."
Yeah.
And they're like, "What?" And literally the women were like, "You're not getting a large?" And I was like, "No." Like, it was obviously not super dramatic.
Yeah.
But they like all looked, and then the one girl literally had the other cup, and she like switched it to a medium. And I was just like does that happen to people? I feel like that must be a thing, because when you think of coffee, how many people change their order?
Well, I mean, when you're going in like every day as well, you're like, whether you like it or not, you're a regular at McDonald's.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
for that coffee order, right?
That at all, yeah.
So it is like, I used to have it when I worked at a coffee shop, as like someone can just walk in the door and you like start their order because you know.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So that's how put, like, maybe put off's the wrong word, but it
you just notice the change, right?
Yeah,
because you're so used to doing it like day in, day out. Especially if you're like regular set shifts and the same person comes in at the same time and you know their order, then
which is literally me. I'm within like 3 to 4 minutes of the McDonald's every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did people ever come in and change their order up often, or was basically everyone just ordering the same thing over and over?
No, people came in and like changed it up, and you'd be like, "Oh, switching it up today, Janet," and then that would kind of be the end of it.
She'd just stare at you and be like, "Get my coffee."
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm too rich to have small talk with you.
Yeah. And then bring it back because it was wrong.
Yeah, coffee is a very personal thing, hey?
Yeah.
Like, it's a weird personal addiction. Or, like, it's addicting, I guess. So that's why people might get bent out of shape when it's wrong. They're like, "You didn't put the right cream in it." You're like, "I think the problem is you're, like, fiending for some coffee."
Yeah, true. Or people are just assholes.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the barista's the easiest person. I've honestly almost fought the baristas before.
Yeah.
Just
fist fight?
Well, like, I was just like, they're a fucking barista. I can hit them. It doesn't matter.
Honestly, like, there are just some people that are just shitty to people that work in the service industry, and those are the worst kind of people.
I judge people off that. If you're
me too.
If you're really nice, but then you're super shitty or like whack to servers and stuff, I'm like, yo, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with
that. It's so weird.
It's so bizarre.
It's so weird.
It's because honestly, it's a thing that makes me think you like trip on power. And
100%.
Or maybe not. Yeah, it's status. You trip on status is what it is.
It's like, I don't even think it's status, because like, I've had some fucking, like, not high status people still come in and treat service like shit. People just, like, take out their shit on people that work in the service industry because they can.
Yeah, but that's what I mean by, I don't mean status as in they're high up. It's like the social status of they're the server and you're above them.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, I worked in the service industry for fucking years and years. And, you know, at the end, I just, like, I quit. It wasn't my job that I didn't like. It was dealing with people. Yeah. And just, like, the worst kind of people. And especially when you're a manager, everything gets, like, escalated to you. And I got to the point where, like, I was like, I'm just going to start losing my shit with people. and I really shouldn't be in an industry where I'm going to do that, because I liked my bosses as well. So it's not like I don't care about my bosses. Right? Yeah, I was like, it wasn't like I don't care about these guys, so I can just lose my shit and be whatever. It's like, no, these guys are nice people and I don't want to hurt their business by going off at people. And I will start doing that soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, going back to the coffee, it is just, for whatever reason, people like, some people literally like get off being like, "Fuck the barista." Like, it's weird. It's just weird.
I know.
Okay, so I have a story, and I want to preface this story, and it's important because the way the story is going to come off may make it seem one way. but I'm prefacing it with my feelings on this, which is I believe every single person should be allowed to, like, every vote matters. Not matters as in for winning your politics, which I guess literally it does, but I mean, like, everyone deserves to have a vote. Yeah. Their vote counts, period. Okay. And the reason I say that is because growing up, my dad would always talk about politics and say how not everyone deserves to vote. And then he was referencing me and my mom when he would say that. He said, you guys shouldn't be allowed to vote. Yeah. So what I'm about to say, keep in mind, I believe everyone deserves the right to vote. Like, that matters.
Okay, just say what you're gonna say.
So I went to vote in advance, and there was girls dressed in like slutty maid outfits with fishnets and cat ears. There's 3 of them.
3 of them.
And I was just like, they were just in a different line, like ahead of me. It wasn't like I was like next to them or anything. Yeah. And I was just sitting there, and I was like. And I think I can imagine. I don't care who you are. You can imagine why. Like, I don't know if I have to explain it. It was just weird to me, and it made me ring that thought of like, should everyone be allowed to vote? And it's just like, yeah, they were like 20 to 21, like they're young girls. Yeah. So like, I guess in one sense, it's like that's awesome. They're out voting, but I just first off I question. I'm like, your choice of attire to go vote is very bizarre. And then anyone that will sit there and go, oh yeah, but like that's freedom of expression. They're doing what they're comfortable doing. That then shifts me to the question of, should everyone be allowed to
vote? Yeah, I mean, cats don't vote, so
if you identify as a cat,
if you identify as a cat,
we will acknowledge you're a cat, but we won't acknowledge your vote.
I mean, if cats got a say at voting, the world would fucking end, dude. Cats are like, you've seen the film Cats and Dogs, right? Yeah. Cats are fucking evil masterminds. If they were allowed to vote, like, the world would end, I'm sure. So, that's some food for thought.
Yeah, that's fair point. I mean, I never really thought of it as like, if you identify as a cat, you can't vote. No. So we either have to change the law so cats can vote, so those girls can keep voting, or we have to ban cats from voting. And to be honest with you, like I said before, I believe in all the votes, so we got to get cats in the voting process.
Let's get the cats involved, guys. But if you have cats, then you got to have dogs, and that opens up a whole fucking...
Oh, man. And then all of a sudden we have this whack civil war, and it's not even about people. It's just animals being like, we got to kill the other animal.
The pigeons would be pissed, dude, because, like, no way they're getting a vote, but...
No,
Pigeon uprising.
I've got this new thing where I'm not comfortable killing bugs anymore.
Really?
Well, like, I will. Don't get me wrong. I'm a savage. I'll fucking stomp out a bug.
I was like, because the only reason I was keeping you around is because it's spider season.
No, but like for example, like if I see like a spider at the door now, I'll just try and shoot out the door as opposed to kill it. But if I have to, I'll do murder because like I'm a fucking savage. But Neve, your face. But I do believe in the whole like everything's a living thing now except birds.
Except birds?
Like, if you want to just beat a bird up for no reason, I'll turn the other way.
I honestly would take a bird over a spider any day. Like, a spider, I will literally set up, like, a war zone for a spider. I will hide behind the sofa and throw boots at it until it's dead. And you know I will do that.
I want to exclude ducks from that statement I just made.
Yeah, that's ducks. Like so. And like, owls. What have you got against birds?
Well,
why do you hate birds?
There's a pair that terrorized my family. Absolutely terrorized it. It only liked my mom, and it literally ran show to the point like it would fly off the cage, and we'd have to run out of the room because it'd bite you. And it was a big old fucking Senegal, so it could like take some chunks.
Yeah. I mean, probably having an indoor parrot wasn't like the best idea in the world. Mm-hmm. So I'm not gonna blame the parrot for that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna blame birds for it. Aviations. What's it called when they're birds?
Aviators.
Aviations. No, aviation is like the flying. But what are birds?
Avarium.
Just
Avum.
If any of our viewers are sent, like, we get a ton of gifts sent. So if any of our viewers decide to send a bird in a box, I'm gonna let that bird die in that box, motherfucker.
Wow, Derek, that got dark.
Yeah, so if you, that's actually a thing. If people are seriously gonna keep sending us all this stuff, thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Just keep sending it. Yeah, did you know we actually got on the number 3 spot in Podcast North Van this week? Yeah.
No, we didn't.
No, we did.
You're a liar.
No, we did.
I didn't believe
3.
it.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
The Weather Network has one.
The Weather Network.
It's killing us.
Juliet's first.
We're never going to catch the Weather Network. Can you imagine out of North Van? There's just a network, a podcast, and all they talk about is the weather. It's just crushing it because everyone here just keeps talking.
No, that's like the worst idea you've ever had for a podcast.
No, everyone in Vancouver always just talks about the weather. So we're just our whole podcast is just gonna be like, yeah, the weather this week was pretty rainy. I can't wait for the sun, and be like, oh yeah, the sun.
I mean, I feel like everyone always talks about the weather because it's easy small talk to have with people.
Easy listening podcast.
No one actually gives a fuck about the weather.
I'm starting a podcast called The Weather with Derek.
Okay, well, I'll watch it fail.
Wow.
From over here.
So I actually want to say something about the not voting thing, though. I actually think it's such a weird. It doesn't. So democracy is everyone gets to vote.
Yeah.
Sorry, am I boring you?
No.
A little, yeah. It's fine while I'm talking about this stuff. Okay. I've been thinking about it. Democracy is everyone gets to vote. Thumbs up, which we want. But if you actually think of like how intense politics are in terms of like the way the world works and everything, then you probably don't want everyone to vote. Like, you only want the educated to vote. Like, I shouldn't say the educated. You only want the people that understand the issues fully through and through to vote. But obviously the problem with that is then you have run into questions like what's educated, like on a matter, for example, or even just things like it would pretty much come down to you have to be educated to vote. So all of a sudden it becomes a class thing of like, if you're educated, you can control the way everything flows and runs. So I just feel like it's as much as I am standing super pro everyone deserves a vote, I actually understand the thought of the statement, not everyone should be allowed to vote. But I guess that's kind of the contradiction of democracy, or that is democracy. I don't know.
I don't think old people should be allowed to vote.
Yeah, we discussed that on my bold statements a few weeks ago.
Was that. Oh yeah, we did talk about that, right?
Yeah, but it is a little controversial to say they shouldn't be allowed to vote. I was just saying they're half a person.
Right.
You don't think they are a person?
No, I guess half a person is okay because like they're gonna be dead before like anything really hits, you know?
I feel like it should be no old people can vote unless I like them. In which case,
unless I like them, unless I agree with what they're saying.
Like, for example, my mom soon will be an old person.
Yeah.
Like, once she gets to that age, let's say, I don't know, like 75, is old person. I want my mom to still vote. But, like, all those other old people gotta take a hike, you know?
I mean, to be fair, when we're letting old people, like, run countries, we can't really say shit about them getting a vote. Just saying, we should really stop letting, like, fucking old-ass people be leaders of countries.
I strongly agree with
That's,
this.
like, all the shade towards all the world leaders.
Okay, but what do you think is an appropriate age to be someone that runs the country?
I mean, you retire at 65. retirement age. Retirement age should be like a cutoff for being like, you're not allowed to run a country and you only get half of it.
That's harsh cutoff. You're like,
up.
I want to be president. And they're like, actually, you only get half a vote.
And like, no hate towards our members of our family that are that age or creeping up there. But like, if you retire, like the retirement age in your country is 65, like why the fuck are you trying to be president right now?
Yeah, I do agree. It seems a little absurd that you have to be like, they're like, are they really old and wise or senile? We can't tell right now. It seems like that's a weird place to be leading the world.
Also, I feel like if you say more than like 3 like different family members' names before getting to the person you're talking to's name, then that should be like the definition to it. Like, I remember when my grandparents, like, when I noticed they were getting old, they'd call me all of my like cousins' names before my name. They'd be like, and like not even just the girls' names, like boys' names too.
I just got what you meant by that.
Yeah, they'd be like Tia, Stan, Ben, Lee, Neve, and I'm like, there we go. That's the one.
How did you get Ben before
before Neve? I don't fucking know.
That's actually perfect because this leads into something I had written down.
Yeah.
And it applies more to it kind of applies to all this, but I didn't write it for this. So adults see memories of the world, not the world in front of them. And I think that applies more so as you get older. Because, okay, like, think of it. So, like, when you're growing up, everything, like, for example, Juliet, everything's unfolding in front of her, right? So she has, like, it's all happening.
Yeah.
But the farther you get from being young, like, there's a certain point where you start, like, thinking of your memories of stuff. Like, one I've really noticed, and I think this is going to break a lot of people's hearts. If you were born in the 90s, you were not a pre-internet baby. Because you technically are by literals of like, I think it was like 94 maybe the internet like came to public use or something.
Yeah.
Even if it was 88, okay? So it was before we were born. Although you were literally born pre-internet, like using it and being accessible. You can't seriously sit there and say in the first 10 years of your life that you were like, oh yeah, like, no, I remember what life was like before the internet. Like, I have memories of being outside and playing sports and like going kick the can and all that stuff. But like, you truly are starting to shape as a person, I'd argue, when you're like 15, like end of high school, because that's when you actually are like coherently starting to appear in the
puberty
world.
Baby.
And you can like understand things. So even within just like, again, it being 35, I sometimes catch people I talk to that are my age talking about like the pre-internet times and how good it was. And I'm like, see, those are like tainted memories because you can't actually remember that. And so,
I mean, I think I agree with what you're saying, but I think it means like when people say that, they're talking about like pre-internet age, which I would say started in like the 2010s. Like the age of, well, no, the internet age started in the 2010s, which is when like Google, Facebook, MySpace, all of those like social aspects of the internet started coming in.
I'm pretty
like pre that, the internet was more of a encyclopedia, I'd say.
I'm pretty sure that all started in what? Facebook was 2004.
Okay, well, I didn't get it until like the 2010s, so maybe that's where I'm going. But like when I think of the internet age, I think of like social media, MSN Messenger, like that instant connection with people, which I think happened a little later than what, like the 90s, right?
Yeah, but still it's the same thing of like, maybe you were young for like, you weren't literally in where it started, but like where you're like most of your your being isn't when you were born. I can't remember the direct quote, but it's basically something of saying like the time that the era you were born in isn't the era that influenced you, because I talk all the time.
Oh yeah,
right?
no, yeah,
and that's what I was kind of getting to with why that like was, but it kind of translates into this well. Like,
yeah.
maybe the leaders of countries shouldn't be these old fucking people, because what they're thinking of, like a really good example is Donald Trump is trying to bring America back to like 40 or 50 years ago, how it was. So clearly, like,
but just the world's different.
The world's different. So he's working on this like backwards memory of how things were
Yeah.
versus the world we're in.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. So it's, and yeah, I just thought that was interesting. Adults see memories of the world,
Yeah.
not the world in front of them. And I was
Which
like,
is why old people are only half
a
people.
vote. Okay, I have a theory about people being haters online. Okay.
Okay.
So it's there's no way you could ever prove this, or like, I don't know, maybe someone's really smart could figure out statistics how to work this out, but it would be interesting. I feel like a lot of people that throw hate online, it's kind of acknowledgments of shortcomings about themselves is really what it is, like on a deep down level. Like, you know how like if anyone does anything good, everyone's always easy like shitting on it or like that. Like if you listen to any social media person, they'll always talk about there's just like so much unwarranted hate towards them, like from the very beginning, as soon as you're anyone. And I just feel like that, to me, I'm a big believer now, like a lot of what people do is projecting themselves onto you. If it's negative stuff, it's like they try and like project it. And I think that the internet, why it's so negative, is because it's a space that's like super safe for you to like hate on other people for things that you're uncomfortable about yourself for.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, but I don't think that's new to the internet. The only thing about the internet is you can do it anonymously and not get called out for it. But yeah, people who shit on other people, it's generally because of either you're just a really shitty person or you have like hella insecurities in yourself.
Yeah.
Like, that's, yeah, I just don't see any other reason why you would need to like intentionally shit on other people if you're not trying to mask some kind of insecurity within yourself.
Yeah, because I like, one thing I used to always deal with, and like until like, when I say very recently, not like 2 months ago, but like I don't know, maybe I was like 30 or something, like I felt like people would shit on me sometimes, like say really mean things to me, and it didn't really make sense to me why, because like what they were saying, like it didn't apply to me, but they were like someone like, and I'd be like, what the fuck? But then I realized, I was like, oh, it's a lot of the time when people do stuff like that, it's always like an insecurity of their own, and so then they like put it onto you. And I don't know, I just feel like a lot of the time people project their insecurities onto you, and then with the way the internet formatted, it just all of a sudden like popped into my head. I was like, oh, that's why it's so negative. Because that's
100%. Like, social media is full of the most insecure people fucking ever. That's why it's so like gratifying to get like likes and views and subscriptions, because you're getting like that instant gratification and being like, oh, people like me, people think I'm doing this, people like it's completely based off your perception of yourself.
Absolutely.
And I think one of the best things you can do as an individual is know yourself. And that doesn't necessarily mean you have to like be in love with yourself, you have to like everything about yourself. Like, it's totally normal to have insecurities, but also just like know who you are, and that's all that matters. And if nobody else sees it how you see it, like, that's okay, because you know yourself. And I think that's so important. Like, everybody has shit that gets to them. Like, everybody has that. But if people are, especially if people are saying stuff about you, if you know yourself and like know that that's not true, or that's not how you perceive it, or like that's just like other people's opinions of you are like completely irrelevant to who you actually are as a person. I think that's the most important and healthy thing you can do for yourself.
Yeah, I agree. Having a kid has been very freeing in that sense of like it's made me like stop caring about a lot of things I did before.
Yeah,
because you're just like, I don't care anymore. Like you're like you're past that because you got your kid.
yeah, I mean, I think how you're viewed is something that's super important in that developmental time of your life. Like when you're going through puberty and when you're becoming a teenager, you're becoming a person. It like a lot of pressure goes on to like how people perceive you, how people view you. And then as you kind of age, you realize that that doesn't actually have any effect on your day-to-day life, how other people see you. Like, it shouldn't mean shit if you know yourself. Like, I'm like, I know me, that's not what I'm about. Like, I'm just gonna focus on my thing and stop like caring about the outside noise. You'll just be so much happier.
I'm trying to remember the like direct quote of it. It's like there's a thing of like when you're really young, you're like vying for attention, and you want like everyone to see you. And then, okay, so I can't remember the direct quote, but it was basically like when you are young, you basically have all this like stress and anxiety, and it's all based around making something for yourself, and everyone's watching everything you do. And then when you get into your like late 20s, 30s kind of thing, you start to realize you're like, oh, like I'm not everyone's watching me all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like the pressures that I thought were there aren't as bad. And then when you get into your 40s, you realize that no one at all was watching you the whole time. But it's like this, it's just like kind of one of those things. And it's true. Cause like I used to always think like, oh man, if I don't do this and like everyone's talking about, not when I say everyone, I think it was more like parents and stuff like that, family members. And then as you just get older and older, you realize you're like, oh yeah, no one really cares or was watching you. And like, if they were watching you, it wasn't in this like critical light that you think they were. They were literally just kind of like, okay.
I mean, like, I do think there are people that like are watching you or can be watching you or whatever, especially in the age we're in now, in the internet age. But I think what's more important than whether people are watching you or not is how you react to that. So I think like if you think, oh my god, like people are watching me, they're gonna judge me, instead of being like, oh no, they're not watching me, because maybe people are, just be like, okay, well, like fuck them, like what does it matter? Like don't edit yourself based on who you think may or may not be listening. You know what I mean? It's like, just be yourself and who cares?
Yeah. This question I had a no. Okay. I had a weird thought the other day.
Okay.
You know how there's like aliens, where are they, all that stuff, like are they out there? What if we were the only things left? Like we're our assumption, like, you know, there's the thought of maybe we're the earliest life form, or we're like somewhere along the line of the like the timeline of life on in the universe. What if we're like all that's left?
I just don't believe that.
You don't think so?
No, not even slightly. I don't think we're that important. I think you're putting way too much importance on the human race for us to be like the first or the last or the only.
Why would it be? No, I'm not saying it like we're so important. I'm saying it's like the reason you can't find anything is because we're all that's left.
I know, but that like in itself is a like a self-important statement. You know what I mean? Like, what if we're the only ones? It's like, well, we're not. Like,
fair enough.
You know, like for me, it's just like I think we're like a speck on a speck on a speck. So to like
on a
probably a speck.
Okay.
Probably another speck.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know. I just don't believe that. You can say like, what if we are the only ones, and like, cool, what if we are? But like, I don't see it.
Um, I know this is a bit of a change of pace here from what I just asked you. If you had to think of our friends that would have a really cute baby together, who would you think?
Dex and Sarah would for sure have a super cute baby.
Yeah, I've got one.
Oh, okay.
Joey Sierra.
Joey Sierra would have a super cute baby, yeah.
Anything attached to Joey has swag, so.
Oh, yeah, duh.
And then Sierra's a babe, so it's swag and a babe.
Swag and a babe?
A swaggy baby.
Swaggy baby? Okay, we're trademarking that. Yes. If you call your baby Swaggy Baby, then you owe us money.
You owe us a lot of money. But,
copyright.
Yeah.
Rachel and my mom would also have super cute babies.
Yes, they would. So I have something I want to exclaim from the rooftops boldly.
Oh, bold statement of the week.
Bold statement of the week. Dun, 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 dun. So I feel like we need to put more power and trust in privately owned social media companies. Like, I think Mark Zuckerberg, I just think he's a good dude. Like, you know what I really liked about him was how he like when the Democrats were in power, he was all about like everything Democrats. And then like he was like, yeah, like, no, we can't show this on the internet and blah, blah, blah. And then I love like literally days after Donald Trump got elected, he just flipped right over to the other side. I was like, oh, yeah, no, we were censoring you and now we got to do it this way. And all of a sudden he hired Dana White, super Republican dude, to be on his board. I think that's awesome. I think that we need more of that in the world. That's my bold statement of the week.
But that's just like, you don't think that.
No, I do. I think that's just exactly what we need. We just need more and more
tech flops.
We need more
tech
privately owned tech companies that pretend to be one way and then flip back and forth. I think it's just the best.
That's bold statement of the week because that's not something you believe.
That's the point of bold statement of the week. No,
that's not bold statement of the week.
That's a bold statement of the week.
That's bullshit bold statement of the week.
No, that's... Oh, so you also think I believe that we old people should have half a vote?
I mean, I believe that.
No, I just think it's really good, though. Like, imagine if, like, I don't know, who owns TikTok?
China?
I think China needs more power and control. That's what I'm saying. Like, it makes a lot of sense, because... Wait, China owns TikTok. Oh,
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, they do
own TikTok, but I'm pretty sure it's China.
No, all I'm saying here is just with people like Mark Zuckerberg that are just so clearly just morally right and have just a solid backbone to trust. I think that the more power he has, like Facebook, Meta, WhatsApp.
Facebook and Meta are the same thing.
Facebook isn't Meta. Meta is Facebook, though.
Still the same thing.
Meta's like the whole thing together. But yeah, like they have a monopoly on social media, and Zuck has just proved again.
Okay.
Straight edge guy. That's my bold statement of the week. More power to Zuckerberg.
Next.
Okay, why don't we wrap it up on that? With the sorry.
Okay.
We'll go to our final segment.
Buy sells?
Yeah.
Okay. What was last week's?
Last week's buy was Derek was in that Mexico soccer game. Oh, wait.
That was a buy?
The Mexico soccer game.
Yeah. In your Squamish tournament, but why was that your buy?
Why was that my buy though? It can't have
maybe
been...
because you just got riled up.
Yeah, okay. Who knows? Last week was so last week, and yours was the roast dinner.
That was a good buy.
Wait a minute.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Okay, my buy of this week. I'm just gonna say that my buy of the week was making smart financial decisions.
Okay. My buy of the week was the farm.
Yes.
Yes, the farm.
Okay, actually, I'm gonna change mine from that.
Yeah, yours
one,
was lame.
I'm
lame.
gonna change mine to something that we haven't talked about. That was this super cute, which was Juliet doing her Easter egg hunt.
Oh, that was hella cute.
Okay, so I tried to do an Easter egg hunt for Juliet at our place, and I bought the Kit Kat and Smarties, and they're just the little chocolate eggs like wrapped, but they're bigger, and it said on the package, great marketing, easy hide. And I was like, oh, yeah, like that's perfect.
Sick.
And then as soon as I got home and started hiding them, I was like, what do you mean easy hide? Like, this is, you don't need to have a Kit Kat $4 one to do this.
Yeah.
But Juliet just didn't understand. You would put, like, I only put 4 or 5 eggs out. It wasn't like I put a ton. But I was like, Juliet, what's this? And she saw the first egg and went, egg. And I showed her it. And I was like, where are the rest? And it was just way above her pay grade to understand what that meant, and I was fine with that. I was like, all right, cool. But then at Grammy Grammy had these plastic eggs, and we hid those, and she got the whole like point of it, and she was wandering around.
She had the little basket too. That was so cute.
Oh, so cute. I kind of want to do an egg hunt this weekend again.
Well, I discovered yesterday when we were hanging out outside that you can just give her the basket and tell her to go pick up pine cones, and it's basically the same thing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
My sell of the week was the nice weather because I wanted more rain for a week.
Yeah.
And yours was JJ shots.
Yeah, that was sad.
Okay, my sell of this week. What was something bad with my week? I don't know. This is a pretty good week.
No, I had a headache today.
Oh, did you?
That'd be my sell of the week.
Neve had a headache, and Neve gave me a headache.
Classic. Always do. It's my aim of the game.
Yeah, anyhow, that is all for today. Unless you got any statements you want to make.
Nothing to say.
Well, people, we love you. Thank you for tuning in. This is 16 weeks in a row. Does that mean it's 4 months now?
Pretty much, yeah.
4 months in a row. Every Thursday we've hit that shit up. Enjoy your pancakes.
Hey, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Can you say elephant?
Otter.
What about otter?
Otter.
Octopus?
Abyss.
How about moose?
No.
No?
No.
What about Nunu?
No.
Do you love your mom?
Mom.
Yeah. Aw, that's nice.
I love you too, JJ.